Well, welcome everyone. I'm just filling in temporarily while President Teresa Ray is temporarily delayed. She will be here later to take over the meeting. But to get started, we'll call a meeting to order and have those meetings.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so do we have any changes to the agenda?
We have several changes that have occurred since it was initially published last week. Thursday. We added an executive session at the beginning of the meeting for a matter regarding safety. And just for everyone's note, this will be an exceptionally short executive session, 5-10 minutes. So don't panic. We also added a contract resolution for Zero Eyes. Under the consent agenda, we added 7 staff members to attend the National Indian Education Association. Under personnel, we added backup paperwork and a date change for the resignation of Jessica Karnowski and a resignation letter and resignation for teacher assistant Sarah Aldrich. We also added 2 new hires, Rachel Morton as a teacher assistant, Colleen Crooks as a teacher aide, and under the dates and times, we added under the information, we added the dates and time for the welcome back. Other than that, everything is exactly the same as last week.
Okay. So I'll take a motion to approve tonight's agenda, amended agenda. Motion by Sue, second by Dale. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion approved. And next we have executive session. So we need a motion to go into executive session.
For the purpose of the matters of regarding safety.
Oh, yeah, for executive session for the purpose of matters regarding safety.
Motion.
Motion by Dale. Second by Dick, right? Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. We're going to do that.
All right, so we can.
And as Mark said, we'll be back in about 30-35 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. I believe we need a motion to come out of executive session. Motion by Ted, second by Sue. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? All right, motion carried. We're back in the regular session. And we're. All right, we're on number 5. Presentation, Transportation Department. And we have Mr. Finch here. All right.
All right, terrific. Vince?
Well, the reason I'm here, I thought it would be important to see what our staff has accomplished here, one year, this is the staff, and this is my picture. Got them all. Oh, I thought Sue already did, sorry. You can see this their mileage on our vans, how much it's increased. We're up 5,000 miles, 21, 22. We go up to 8 vans. Main reason for the increase. Okay. Oh, the big thing I want you to see was the blue, that is our buses. We ran 309,291 miles last year with our buses. We do a lot of contracting with both programs, 15 other schools and stuff like that. And for this stuff, with sports programs, other things picked up, handing out food, whenever they're needed, they're there. And this is our score, the state. That you can see last year, even though we ran that many miles through the state, we scored on our inspection and our quality of our buses. Paperwork at 98.7. It's really good for the school. Here, I know there's some questions on one time why we're getting so many buses, but this is what's helping. This is a rotation sheet that myself, Dale, and Dolly worked on. You know, showing where the best time is to get rid of our buses, because at an annual, we sell a bus now after 10, 13 years, we get $3,000 to $6,000 out of it. If we were to rotate 7 years, which that's their goal, to rotate every 7 years, we should get between 35 to 40,000. Nobody will guarantee that because the market could drop next week. So that's where we should be in that stance. If we keep going, I think it's 2025, we will be on that 7-year rotation. As long as the board and everybody follows behind. By doing this with that score, it also makes it easier for my guys to maintain, which allows us to keep them higher scores for inspection and stuff like that. I was hoping to have more done on cost and show how much we are saving, but I apologize, I didn't get to that with everything else going on.
Hi, this is Laura, and I am following your school bus 141 across 242 approved. And I just wanted to say what a wonderful job this person is doing, following the laws of the road, and just doing a wonderful job. Have a great day. Bye.
Anybody have any questions?
How much is the new bus?
Present time, $135,000.
We can, add to that, because the state wants us to have all electrical buses by 2035. The electrical buses are around $6,000 each. Do not believe our current electrical facilities here in town can sustain 40+ buses. So that's one thing that we need to look at into facilities or upgrades to the electrical system, whatever we need to do in order to make that happen. Right now, it's a state law that by 27, we can no longer purchase diesel buses after 27, and then by 35, we have to electric. How that's going to happen.
Will the state know what you do?
There are some programs out there, yes, but I think the biggest thing is the electrical grid. I don't know how they're gonna handle it. We have, yeah, we have brownouts now, with not having, probably 1,000 buses or more in just the Western New York area, I would think, being plugged in every night. And then because of our teams playing so far away, I mean, we have the cross going all the way up to Wilson and, farther sometimes, the buses can't go that far. You're gonna have to go part way and stop and charge for 12 hours and then continue. It's ridiculous. I don't know how the state thinks that we can make this happen.
Buses available? I mean, you see
No,
that being able to be done.
yeah, because everybody is, gonna start buying them or attempt to buy them and
Right now, they're not available.
Yeah, that's what I
Decade down the road, who knows?
Time schedule, but
Yeah.
there.
yeah, it's crazy. So we're, every school district's in the same boat. That, we're gonna be looking for them, but I don't think that we can sustain it in this area right now. Anything else you want to add to that, Bob, that we know of right now?
No, that's. The problem is they can't even run 100 miles. But that's before you start calculating in radio in the bus. This is a plain bus, not just driving down the road. put heaters, you put lights on every light you install. We run zone on, we run the camera system, that also brings that down. And the big part that they try to push is, well, you can sell your electric back to the area, because they can take the batteries brought off overnight. That's a duration. Now, this bus is guaranteed to go 10 years, but it's only had so many durations. So every time you cycle or do a run duration on this bus, that's even pulling it off, that cuts down on the life of this bus. So they're not, they talk 10 years, but the batteries are only getting warranty for 7. And the thing is, when it comes down to doing these batteries, you got to put a lot of thought into it, because even our lifts, we have to have different style lifts, because they have to be able to take the body off, literally take it off to look at these batteries and the service center. We definitely set up yet.
Can I mention one thing too about the city? The city had a charging one down by the bus garage, and it's not that something happened to it. This was brought up at our meeting at the city hall. Somebody was charging their vehicle and left without unplugging it and ruined it, and that's why it was taken down. Wait till they do buses like that.
I had a question on, out of service rate on one chart. For 21-22, it was at 0. Is that, there was no data, or it was at 0?
We had nothing out of service. Down one vehicle out of service. Back in, yeah, but then back in 18-19, when we did have quite a bit of service, actually with Mr. Mueller's hand carrying, we actually rotate up my mechanics for additional responsibilities. Now I have a Fraser right under me, so problem we had was actually with air chambers, maxis, they're all the company we're getting, they're bad, they're blowing right up. And you guys do what they can, but actually put 2 on the list and going around it, hit the brakes, the maxi. I had to take that bus out of service, so with Bill now with additions to dealer and stuff with range. He also helped do research, we found better maxis. We just get through Napa, now Camp, we're actually going through PC because they're carrying ones that we know hold up, so we're able to research and follow up.
How are we doing bus drivers?
Actually, pretty good, impressive. With the training we've been doing now around the we are somewhat of the school, we train our own drivers, we have that qualification down there. If everything goes well, we're going through the board here next week. I'll actually have 2 people instead of having subs, that's what we care about this, they'll cover me. They will be there every morning, so if something happens, I have 2 cover. Substitutes, I think we're about calling them, they will be there to cover, so. But we have drivers for every route, even the additional friendship one we require now. So.
How much do we pay?
Start out rate 17 now.
And I just see it on TV and everything.
Yeah, but we here, actually a lot of people come here, we got another gentleman flying from Elkville. He's coming here because we like certain how well the staff is down there, how well we work here. And other people come here, they enjoy it because there's a lot of other perks that coffee in the parts.
So what's the average hours a driver gets in a week? There's like,
Well,
the statistic of
Well,
300 and some thousand miles.
okay, average driver usually will do at least 25 hours. But that's if they want. But if there's additional sports run, donors, they probably do 45, 50 hours. There's other people might more, I hate to leave anybody out, I have a lot of drivers that sign up for Road Grizzly, stuff, they take a lot of runs. But even during the summer right now, we do a lot of rise and stuff, did all their swim programs all summer and things. 3 and 4 buses, tomorrow we're actually sending 8 buses up there to transfer full school to the park. Actually, drivers are there that we need, but then we have ones that are retired and all they want to do is come into the job, do their 4 hours and they're happy and they go home, which is fine.
What time does your day start every morning?
What time? Right now it's 6.
Right, but what about during the school day? School year?
We're 5.
Right, and one thing that we need to recognize that Bob takes to take, when a bus driver needs the day off for whatever reason, they call into him on his phone. Winter weather days, what time does your day start? 4 o'clock. Right. So, you really, Bob does an incredible job. You can see the numbers, how that's improved over the past several years under his guidance. but he's one of these people who are here a lot. And that's one of the reasons that people want to come to Salamanca, is dedicated staff we have. So, thank you.
Any other questions? Awesome. Thank you. All right, so next one we have is our presentation for student athlete code of conduct. Bartolzi. How are we trying?
So these are just the updated versions of the student athlete code of conduct. I'm going to take you through a little presentation that's come about through months of discussion. Throughout the year, we face challenges and inconsistencies and conversations about our student athlete code of conduct and handing out suspensions and punishments and just changing with the dynamics of today's day and age, our community, and some of the demands that are put on our student athletes and where we wanted to go. These conversations involve all levels throughout our district, including our students, our coaches, teachers, administrators, and the end result was what you'll see today. All right, so today, just a few focus areas. Restorative practice, which pertains to our counseling session, what our process is, and then some preventative measures and possible education opportunities that we can explore for our student athletes. Right here, you'll see an example of the 2018-2019 behavioral code. 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, and so on have all been the same. Okay, highlighted, you'll see when a student has been given a suspension from the above, it will be recommended that the student athlete attend optional counseling sessions. In my time here, we have not had that opportunity. We have not had that option. There's a number of different reasons for that. But this past year, we saw a significant increase in the amount of suspensions that were handed down. And it became evident that there was some updating needed. Our current practice is in front of you, 33% of the season for first offenders, 100% of the season for second offenders, and the third offense is for the remainder of the season. This has been fairly consistent throughout the last 5, 6, 7 years. Okay. What we're recommending is a revision with a counseling option. So Casa Trinity is an organization that is already working with our district in terms of Too Good for Drugs. It's a program. It's a 10 classroom session that teaches our younger kids about other ways and other things you can do other than drugs, educating them, making better decisions. So they're already an organization. Formerly, I believe it was CARES. They combined with Trinity, and we actually met them in June. I've had several follow-up meetings with their point person. Her name is Erica Sebastian. She is going to be the lead person on these interventions. So what would take place is for first offenders, a counseling option would be offered by us. It would be agreed upon by the student athlete and the parent guardian. Upon their agreement, they would sign their intentions to complete this program. From there, the incentive piece to that is if you do this, we'll reduce your suspension to 10%. 10% of the season will still be upheld even if the program is complete or not complete. We don't want to rush through the program. So they face their school consequence. They have a student athlete consequence. They decide they want to take this counseling session. Now this session involves an assessment that is run through the program. It is not a school employee, it's completely confidential. The first session runs roughly an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, and it's pretty thorough. Within a week, 7 days, depending on holidays and whatever else. And this is why we've added the piece that we don't want them to rush through. We don't want kids and families thinking they need to get through this thing. They will have a follow-up session. This session will be roughly the length of a school period. They try not to take kids out of too much classroom activity. Try to make it work for them. After the second session, there is an optional third session that would be offered to the families. So you could agree to have a follow-up session with the parents, guardians, etc. Following those sessions, and with my conversations with Erica or their point person for that particular student, we would agree that they fulfilled their commitment, and that would be the length of their counseling, assessment, restorative opportunity. Second offense will still equal 100% of the season. And we will once again work with them, work with people inside of our district to have some sort of follow-up. And we don't want to just leave them hanging, but at this point, it's twice within one season. We've got a bigger problem to tackle. And then the third offense was for the remainder of the year. We obviously have some issues. So all in all, the document you're looking at has very little change to it. Comparatively speaking, we've added the restorative piece, and we've changed some language to add cannabis with alcohol, illegal drugs, and tobacco products. Due process, and this is what I just went through, but we want to make sure that each student is given their due process. There is an opportunity to appeal that's written into the document. We want to make sure they have representation. Once the agreement or the admission of guilt is recognized, then we go into this session, or this opportunity for session. Excuse me. Come on. One more. Keep going.
Why no? What do you want?
Well, this one. Right here, athletic director and liaison will coordinate with them. They will also communicate the timeline with the family. So once they commit to the agreement, we'll make sure we're documenting and that we're coordinating with coaches and parents and family members. And just once again, it may go beyond the 10%, but it's not to rush through a particular suspension. It's to provide meaningful support to the student athlete. Go ahead. So preventative measures, there are other programs that they have. We're adding programming to our 8th grade and possibly to another level at our Seneca Intermediate to allow for some of this information to get out in front of our students in general and our student athletes. There's also an hour-long possible assembly with speakers. It's called Sport that they run. And once again, that'll be on us to kind of continue to just promote making healthy choices and doing the right thing as much as possible. And really focusing in on preventing some of these decisions. And that is the gist of it. Does anyone have any questions?
If you get suspended for other things besides drugs and alcohol, or just the drugs and alcohol?
So the school code of conduct always takes precedence. So yes, if there are issues outside of the school code of conduct that happen with the school code of conduct, we follow that first, and we're secondary. Does anyone have any thoughts about this?
Oh, I like it. Yeah, and to that point, let's say violence. Say kids get in a fight with each other. That goes, like you mentioned, it goes back to a school code of conduct before it goes to a sports code of conduct. But no, I like the idea behind this. When it comes to that issue.
So for our families and parents and coaches who are listening, on the 17th is our big parent athlete meeting. We're gonna try to promote this as a huge event, try to knock this all out. We're gonna present all this again. Erica Sebastian will be there from the program to help put a face behind what we're doing. They are gonna be hiring some more workers and expanding their programming and kind of leave our way more so to this, if it works for them.
Are you just doing it on the 17th?
We have the 17th with a follow-up on the 22nd.
Chad, is it always 10% of the full season? So if it's a 10-game season, it happened, at the beginning of the year, it's gonna be one game, but what if it happened at game 5? Is it still 10%?
You would just divide by whatever the schedule is, so it'd be one game. Basketball 20, that would come down to 2, football, it would be 0.8, 1, and so. If they did not fulfill their obligation, which they're likely to, because they're choosing to do so, it would go back to 33%.
And then if I'm correct, if they do opt to do this, the counseling sessions would actually occur during on-site.
They will come here, yeah,
Okay.
which is a huge gift. We talked about it.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it. Okay, next up, item number 6, communication, public communications, title secretary advisory.
People that are requested to speak, Jim Jackson and Mara Arena.
Okay, who signed up
During
first?
during this part,
We're at 9.
is it something different besides what's on the agenda? No, it's not. Okay.
That was it?
No.
Okay. Nobody from Title 6. I'm on Title 6 committee, but I really have nothing to do with this report, other than I think we have a meeting or report. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Yeah. Yes, yeah. There you go. We have a meeting tomorrow, so nothing to report right now. All right, can we move on to central office? Eric?
Well, it's too bad Bob just left, because I was gonna say thanks to Bob for making the presentation on increasing operations. Bob and his team do a really good job back there, and I think a lot of times that they don't get the full recognition for all they do for our students. Not only just transporting them, back and forth, but they delivered meals and delivered work papers and homework and all that kind of stuff during COVID. And if kids miss the bus, they make arrangements to get the kid and so on and so forth. So we do quite a bit back there, and once again. And also for our opening day picnics, I have the menu, which will be honey glazed chicken legs, hot dogs and hamburgers for those that don't want chicken, roasted sweet potato wedges, baked beans, BLT pasta salad, vegetable salad with chickpeas, red, baby red potato salad, watermelon, assorted cookies, and water. So anybody that's coming on out for the opening day picnics on the 30th and 31st, that will be the menu. Cafeteria operations will be slaving away for those couple days to get everything done and get it all served out. And last but not least, we are once again, I can't remember if we've already made the announcement or not, but now that stuff is coming in, it just made me remember that we are once again providing all the school supplies for our students that attend prospects and conference. That's all I have.
Any questions for him?
Right.
BOE message. What?
Well, I every time we have a board meeting, then we do this leads into the caring, the compassion, the passion that the staff has. And I always try to figure out how to do that, and you're doing a great job, you gotta keep going, and school can be started pretty soon, but I hope you get some rest before that. But I just want to share a story with you, because I think the kind of work that you do, and you know this, but you're gonna get, you're gonna do things in there, the impact will be later on. Students, so something in their life, they're gonna come back and tell you. And so I'm gonna go way back, but when I was in school, I had a teacher, his name was Ernest Kianchi. He was an English teacher. And I was involved in school government and stuff. And I was gonna run for president when I was in junior. But Mr. Kianchi came up to me. He'd just taken an interest in me, got along really well. And he says, I really want you to win that election. And I was nervous and scared, and I didn't know how to approach the whole thing. But Mr. Kianchi actually took me under his wing. He helped me write my speech. We were going to do this big thing on Sunday. And he goes, I'm going to take you in there and we're going to practice. So he got the auditorium, he set up the podium, he put me up there, he sat in the audience, he listened. He taught me how to read a paper that's fully written, not reading it, and still look up. And I won that election. And I will never ever forget Ernest Kianchi because of this. He cared so much about his students. I was 71 of those at that time. And he had this real passion just for education. He's like one of the super teachers, model teachers, and one of those great people. And I just want to share that with you because that day is coming for you. There's going to be a lot of that. And I just keep hearing about the great staff. There's those stories in which you've been, again, applaud all of you for your approach, your work at this school. I find it really extraordinary.
Okay, no, a lot of it is, same with Flip. Yeah, it's amazing to me that a lot of our teachers and associations, and when they are, they're different components, seem to be gelled well and overall working together, and that goes a long way for how the public perceives us, how our students perceive us, how the community perceives it. That's just overall seems to be a very positive message that we're sending out. I just want to thank you guys all for that. The other thing is it's amazing how you go from one school board meeting a couple weeks ago talking about how we just got into the summer months. Now we're talking about picnics and school starts in less than a month. Amazing how the summer flies by. Everybody seems to be doing excellent work, and I just wanted to thank everybody for getting through these hot humid days and staying focused on the job in front of you, and hopefully everybody can enjoy a little bit before the day begins here in September.
Right?
I was going to thank Bobby's gone, but for his service and dedication. I always heard there was an unwritten rule he could give him right now. It's bigger with social media nowadays. How to figure it out. Oh, man,
Bill?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Chad for presenting on I thought a quick kind. I like to see the more restorative slant than a punitive slant to our discipline policies, and I hope that carries over into our general student code of conduct as well. Restorative practices is very powerful. We've been using it in the BOCES for years, and pretty cool stuff. So let's just use it. Thanks. Sue?
I would just like to comment on how important teachers are and how they interact with the student. They can make or break a kid. And I hope they understand what they could do to a child.
These guys said everything I was gonna say. You know, a lot of that is stuff that I was thinking about as everyone's speaking here, thinking back on teachers who make a difference. Yeah, thank everybody, I think all of our school staff. For 7 years now on the board, I've been thanking everybody for what they do for our kids here, our community. It's awesome. Really, the good times, the bad times, whatever it is, we're doing good for our kids, trying to give our kids the best opportunity possible. That goes from our sports, that goes from our transportation, to everybody else. So once again, thank you, everybody. I've said before, and I'll continue to say, partly because I have to, because I'm a teacher, but thank everybody. Yeah, looking forward to the year coming up. I'm excited about, school starting, I'm excited about the picnic, and I'm really excited because I heard the menu. So, I can't wait. But Ted, you're right, time flies. Like I just mentioned, 7 years ago, I got on the board. It's like, it's gone. This year, I had my third daughter going to be a senior. My little one's going in the 3rd grade. The time is just zipping right by. You don't even know where it goes. But I'm looking forward to everything. Everybody has a great year coming up. A lot of good things happening. Just excited to see how this year progresses and turns out. See how great our kids do and everything that we have going on. Academically, co-curriculars, sports, everything. We have a lot to look forward to. So I'm just excited right now. That's about it.
Mueller? Well, I guess I'll continue the trend here. I wrote this earlier today and it starts with, I would like to thank you. But I really do want to extend gratitude to our school-related personnel in particular. That includes our clerical staff, business office, human resources staff, buildings and grounds, custodial and housekeeping staff, our transportation department that we heard from today, for the great work that they've been doing all summer. In many districts, you will not see the activity on school campuses, and that sometimes provides an opportunity for school-related personnel staff, housekeeping, and custodial staff to sort of get caught up. They don't have that opportunity in Salamanca because we are busy 12 months out of the year. So they have to work around everyone else's schedule because as a district, we put our students first. And that means that our custodial and housekeeping staff have to make changes to what they thought they were doing that day because their students inside or in classrooms. And that just compounds the amount of work that they already have to press in a short window of the summer. I also just want to thank our administrative team for the work that they've been doing. As a building or a district office administrator, and it's summertime, and you talk to people who might not be involved in schools, and they're like, well, you guys actually provide a summer? Like, what do you do? There's no kids. And it's an incredibly busy time. If we look just at our personnel piece alone, which is sort of addition to everything else that has to happen, we're in the 40s with regard to the number of new hires and transfers. That's 40 individuals that have been onboarded with a minimum of 3 interviews each. And all of the work that has to go around that. And that's not just our administrative team, it's all of the other individuals who participate in those interviews to ensure that we get the best of the best that are in front of our students. So again, I just wanted to extend that gratitude and also to our school board. Now that they're my boss, I need to just make sure I know that as well. But I think it's incredible that every single person up here started with a gratitude and the importance of the teachers. And if you watch school board meetings in other school districts, you won't get that sense. And it was kind of exciting as I came in today because it felt like there was a nice positive buzz as people were going before the board meeting even got started. There's some excitement, and that's partly because we have some folks that we're going to be recognizing that are new warriors are here. And you can feel that they're excited, and we're excited to have them with us. So that's terrific. But speaking of staffing, I do want to encourage, we are still short some staff members. So I encourage individuals to frequently check our employment section of the website for the most recent listing of vacancies. Spread the word to colleagues. This is a great place to be. It's a great place to work. It's a great place to send your children. But we are still hiring. So spread the word. If they are a good person and an excellent educator, then this place they should call home. On one last note, I am proud to announce that our very own Karen Wigera has been appointed to the National Indian Impacted School Association Board of Directors. That is a very important organization, particularly to us, and that really just solidifies our involvement with the organization and recognizes the long commitment that she has had to not just our district, but also to organizations such as
No, I really look forward to serving on the board. I was involved in working on their strategic plan, so that's one of the going to finalize. So that'll be one of my first things as a board member is to get that finalized, and then actually will be presented in December at this.
So thank you. That was it. That was it. Wasn't that long enough? Yeah, I know.
Oh, I forgot, Terry, she's not here, so she thanks everyone as well too.
Excuse me. I work EVS, and I have a problem. Always people come to me and want to hug me. It's not work to hug somebody, but I feel bad because I'm thinking that might be the last hug that they even get, the only one. So what happens there? Like, I had to do like, okay, stay away, but I don't think it's right. It's mean, I think.
Sure. Right, address that. All right. So. Right. So the right answer to this, right, especially now that I've recorded and not anybody can watch this, is we're not supposed to hug kids. I will tell you that if a kid comes up and gives me a hug, I'm going to give him a hug because of that reason that you just said. It may be the first hug of the day, it may be the last hug, maybe the only hug they get that week. But the professional side of me says we do have some other options. So we might have the fist bump, high five, handshake. And sometimes we set that up as the expectations and parameters. You know, you say fist or high five to that person, and it still passes that personal touch and affection and lets them know that you care without potentially crossing the line of a hug. So.
Another thing, I suppose, the answer to that is that. Grab the sex because you'll hear it. Mrs. Manning, how you doing? And get a big smile. They feel good now.
Right. And that came from as a recommendation, right? And that just goes to the importance of, you know, the dialogue that has to occur, right? I mean, we need to be talking to each other about what we can do to make everybody's job here easier and the environment better to work.
Awesome. So we will move on to item number 7, the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Ted, second by Dale. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item number 8, nothing under old business. Item number 9, new business. A, we have a donation of the bookworm vending machine to the Global Vending Group. It is resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent and board of education accepts the donation from Pay It Forward of funds in the amount of $4,700 for the Seneca School Library bookworm vending machine to the Global Vending Group to be donated to the Seneca Intermediate School students, be approved, and a letter of appreciation be sent, and be resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education accepts the donation from the Friends of the Youth Center Incorporated in the approximate amount of $1,000 to $1,500 to purchase the first round of books for the book vending machine at Seventh Intermediate School to be approved and a letter of appreciation be sent. Do you have a motion? Motion by Sue, second by Dale. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
We do have some representatives here. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, well, let me, Mara, you want to take it from here? All right, terrific.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mara Arena Stokes. For those of you that do not know me, I was recently appointed the library department head for this district, and I'm housed out of Seneca as our librarian. Recently, we were trying to plan ways to improve literacy throughout the school, and we were actually tagged, I believe by Levi possibly, in a post from Southwestern School District that had this book vending machine, and we thought it was awesome. How are we going to get this? So the book vending machine basically incentivizes reading. Students are able to earn a token and put it into the machine and pick out a book that they get to keep. So the matter was how to get that in our district. So the machine itself was $4,795 and approximately $1,000 to $1,500 to fill the machine with books. And again, these are brand new books that the kids can keep, so they're not hand me down. It's fresh, brand new from all levels, from K all the way up to young adult. So immediately I called Cindy Brundage, the City of Salamanca Youth Bureau Director and Grant Administrator, and I'm gonna let her take over from here. What happened next?
Well, I'm gonna let Tim Jackson take over from Pay It Forward, because I'm that guy, but I'm Cindy Brundage. I think I know pretty much everybody. Been youth bureau director for 19 years, lived here for 30. And it's great to see the community involvement with the school so that we can actually partner on some things. And this is one of those things we can partner on. So Mr. Jackson, if you would like to talk about the funds that you're going to donate, then I'll talk about the funds that you're going to.
Thank you very much. Sandy approached me about the idea for a book vending machine for the school. I thought that was absolutely wonderful idea because years ago, in 1973, I saved a woman's life. Her name was Margaret Fisher. And through the years, Margaret Fisher and I, very close friends. I do mean very close friends. One of the things that we did a lot was exchange boxes of books. She was an avid reader. And mostly it was mystery stories and things like that, but she was a great, great person. And when she died at 101 years old, she left me $10,000 in her will. Now, the reason she left me $10,000 was because she knew that I had a program called Pay It Forward. During the Christmas months and during the year, I would help out families in need and Christmas presents, and food, and whatever they might want, bedding, beds, dressers, whatever. And she used to donate, money at the end of the year during October or so to help this fund. But when she left me $10,000 in her will, I put that aside and put it into the Margaret Fisher Memorial Fund for the Pay It Forward program. This was absolutely one of the most finest things that I think that she would love to have known that this is one of the things that she is going to be participating in. And with that, I have a check here, $5,000, not $4,700, whatever it is. $5,000. I don't know, it's made out to the City of Salamanca, Timothy Jackson, no, it's not. The school district, and I guess you are.
All right, terrific. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the Friends of the Salamanca Youth Center is the not-for-profit portion of the youth center. We fundraise, we have alternatives. Tom Charbonneau, who's was the former city of Salamanca librarian for 41 years, is on that board. Arthur Cicero, who is a retired PPS person. Tim Baird, who's a retired teacher, and Jackie Decker are all on that board as well as myself. And so we felt like this was again another opportunity for children in the district to earn a token anywhere in the community, get that token, come in, get a book. And so I have a check for $1,500 to get your first round of books.
Madam President, just want.
Yeah. Come down for a picture.
We think tomorrow we have to without.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, excellent. I was gonna ask one more question.
Okay, if you want to ask.
Oh, go ahead. What do you ask?
I was just gonna reiterate on what Sandy said, that we also have pictures of what it is. Yeah, we didn't have a slideshow, but our goal is to work with the community. It's a community-based project, so the students can earn tokens doing good things in the community, not just being good readers. You know, we're trying to promote them to be good readers, but maybe by having good behaviors in the classroom, doing good things in the community for others. Our goal is to work with youth center, have tokens there available to earn, have tokens at City Hall, maybe the ACC, whoever wants to get on board. We want to be able to get more tokens for them, to have more opportunities for them to be able to earn that prize.
So how long before this is operational?
Yeah, as soon as we order it. And I believe the company's out of Amherst, so it shouldn't take too long.
We could even coordinate with the police department, so maybe they can, when they identify good things, yeah, only we do someone. Yeah.
Question on, who selects the books?
So that is another question at hand. We were going to kind of base it off what, because it's housed out of Seneca. We have kids 4 through 7, and they're all at different, we have some kids that are in that kindergarten, first grade reading level, all the way up to YA. So based off of what's kind of on the market, some classics, and just take some kind of questions or, you know, input from staff or community members that might think what book might be good in there. Maybe books in memory of somebody, things like that, that they can choose. So we'll open up for any recommendations, and we're looking for also recommendations on how to earn a token if anybody has more ideas on that as well.
What about, well, I guess is this gonna be open for like kids of all ages and the entire community, or is it just Seneca School?
I think that it's gonna be open to the whole community, it's just gonna be housed out of Seneca.
Okay.
I think that's the plan.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody? No. Well, thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you. So now that Madam President is here, I will be exiting stage left. I will see you all in a couple weeks at the next board meeting.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Not so fast. All right, I guess we gotta stay.
We are on B on business. Okay. Item B is our BOCES contracted transportation to St. Mary's School for the Deaf. So we need a motion to approve the contracts. The first is for $87,480 and then on September 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023. The second is to July 1st of 2023 through August 30th of 2023 for $21,007. Motion by Carrie. Second by Brad. Are there any questions on the contracts? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. And next is our student athlete behavioral code. So we need a motion to approve the student athlete behavioral code contract update.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Dale, second by Carrie. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item B is our tax warrant for 22-23 in the amount of $250,000. So we need a motion to approve the tax warrant. Motion. Motion by Brad. Second by Tad. Flip, sorry. I'm sorry. Motion by Brad, second by Flip. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item E is our contract with Zero Eyes in the amount of $150,500. So we need a motion to approve that contract.
Second.
Motion by Sue, second by Carrie. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item 10 is our personnel consent agenda. So we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Who did the motion? Okay. Motion by Tad, second by who? Julie. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, motion carried. And now we get.
There we go. All right. Right here. Let's see. I am going to start with Nikki. This is, no, I didn't have to take your name. I just wasn't sure which one. There we go. Terrific. Nice to meet you.
Okay. We are excited for Emma Maxson to join our team at Sonic Intermediate as our 7th grade science teacher. Emma brings with her experience in 7th grade science instruction and a passion and interest in the subject matter. She has a positive personality and will nurture our curiosity using relevant content and resources aligned. Before coming to Salamanca, Emma worked as a campus ambassador for Christian College. And she is also part of the Canadian Zoology Society and Project Conservation. Emma is committed to building relationships with our students while engaging them in activities with high rigor that allow them to explore and use a scientific approach to learning and growing. During her interview, she expressed her desire and ability to be able to bring lessons alive for students using real-world applications. We are confident Emma will accept the vision of the Welcome aboard.
I just want to say thank you to Dr. Baylor and everyone that was on the interview panel. I'm super excited to get started. And I haven't seen my room yet, which I sort of to Erin. I'm like, I see my room tomorrow, please. So yeah, I'm really excited to get started. It's my first year being a teacher for a full year, so it's gonna be a wild ride, but I hope to hopefully.
Let's see. This is Barry.
I would like to Marie Louise, recently married. Seneca Intermediate, would like to welcome Marie Louise as our new social worker. Her passion and calling for social work is rooted right here at the School District. After receiving her bachelor's in marketing and communications in 2019, she began working as a substitute at Salamanca. During her time here, she shadowed a social worker and felt multiple work. She pursued her master's in social work from the University of Buffalo, completing her program in 2021. Most recently, she's been working as a social worker in the Lockport City School District. She also has experience as a school-based mental health provider in Buffalo County, interning with the Buffalo City School District, as well as the Red Cross Disaster Action Plan. In her free time, she completes humanitarian work around the world, most recently traveling back from the Philippines that Sunday. While there, she participated in a Zoom interview where we later found out it was 2:30 in the morning. Where she was. We had no idea. Talk about commitment. We're very excited for Ms. Pat who brought her back. We're excited to meet her.
Speech, you can get something if you like.
So I super excited. Coming back really, that's what it feels like. And because I started here and I'm right back where I started, it's like, you know, just home. So I'm just
Welcome. Mr. Long.
Unfortunately, Mr. Siebert was not able to be here tonight, so he asked me to fill in making the transition to high school. I wasn't privy to the interview process, but I have been privy to working alongside. And I'd like to reintroduce Ms. Brazil as she's making the transition from the high school office to our business department. I can speak very highly of her in the short time that I've worked with her, as she leading a big role in the office. Don't go. And I was able to call her references that spoke very highly of her ability to manage students and build relationships. And I think that's a testament to why she's here. Her passion for kids, and just like to welcome you to a new position.
All right. That's so good.
Hold on, Billy's going to share.
She got a long speech.
Yeah.
So long. Actually, I want to say thank you to everybody because when I started, the secretary and I kind of just followed the path that was in front of me and I went back to school. And if it wasn't for the support of the administration, the board and everybody else, I wouldn't even be where I am. So with all that support and improving all my things that I had to do while I was here and still being able to do this and work or whatever kind of crazy ideas I had, just allowed me to do it. It took me some time, but I got it. So, and I look forward to being a teacher, starting that new crazy part of life, I guess.
Congratulations. Barry.
Nina Rondazzo on the screen. We're very excited to welcome Angelina, goes by Nina Rondazzo, into the Seneca family as our new 7th grade English teacher. Nina is a graduate of Ithaca College, where she received a bachelor's and master's of teaching English for grades 7 through 12 and women and gender studies. During her time at Ithaca, Ms. Rondazzo immersed herself in a variety of experiences, such as organizing Comic-Con, leading various electives, and presenting at academic conferences. She is incredibly knowledgeable in best practices and instructional pedagogy. She's committed to building relationships with students while engaging them through collaboration, movement, and high-level learning tasks focused on their specific interests. She is excited for the opportunity to collaborate with district faculty and the community to integrate Seneca culture into her English curriculum. Calling references all spoke extremely highly of Nina, confirming everything the interview team felt about her. The deal was sealed, however, when one adamantly stated, "Nina is a catch and do not let her go."
Oh.
Welcome aboard, Ms. Rondazzo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Hi, thank you so much for allowing me to join on Zoom. I'm really excited to start. This is such a wonderful district, and I'm really happy to be here and look forward to getting to know everyone.
Anyone else? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go, Mrs. Oaks.
All right, I am so excited to introduce Anne-Marie Anderson right in front of me here. Joining us as a reading interventionist, reading specialist at Prospect Elementary. So welcome to the family. Anne-Marie has more than 25 years experience in education. And I think it's also worth noting that she had a previous career as a nurse because it's so evident. So we had our interviews, we had a panel and we asked a series of questions and then we went right into a 15-minute phonemic awareness lesson with kiddos that were present during our summer program. And during that lesson, it's commendable how quickly she developed rapport with those kiddos and just that nurturing side of her that just we kind of connected to your previous career as a nurse. And she also spoke to that during the interview as well, that she uses that to support her instruction. But all of that, just the lesson was executed beautifully. I think what sealed the deal for us was the kids were so engaged, she held them accountable, which is tough during summer. It's a very rigorous, it's tough during summer to engage them, and they were so engaged, and they were actually so disappointed when the lesson was over and kind of complained that it was done. So I think that's a testament to how she sets up her instruction and builds strong connections with kids and really engages them at their level. And we're very pleased to have her. So welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Hey, I have worked in many different places. I was in a private school situation for 10 years as a house parent with 60 boys. And I've worked in public school situations, and as a nurse, I also worked. But this is the most outstanding, I said this to people, I had gone on other interviews. This is the most outstanding school situation I've seen in a long time. It's been where everybody seems focused and driven and they can articulate a vision for the district. It's just, I feel so lucky to be a part of it. Thank you.
I believe that is everyone. If you're nervous at some point. I saw Anne-Marie there. I'm like, I know somebody kind of thinks about Anne-Marie, but I'm pretty sure that's everybody that is present or on.
Next, we have our board information, reports. Thank you again for your books. For upcoming events, tomorrow is our Indigenous Education Committee meeting right here in the LGI at 5 p.m. August 16th, we have our Finance Committee meeting at 3, and then the next Board of Education meeting is going to be August 23rd, 5:30. And with that, we need a motion to bring to executive session for the purpose of assistant superintendent.
And legal matter. It'll be a long one.
Okay. We'll need a motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Dale, second by Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Thank you, everybody, for coming. You don't have to stay on that.
Anne-Marie, I'm on very least.
Program.
Wherever.